What's up, everybody? I am Sharon Rabi, and welcome back to my vlog Idea to Product. This is episode 4, and today we are going to talk about one of those things that stop us, that paralyze us. How to protect this incredible idea that we have in our head. So, how do you protect your idea in the first moment when you have little or no money? So, I am very honored because for this vlog, I was able to interview one of the most renowned. Gerson Panich is a partner in Finnegan. He is one of the most accomplished and renowned patent attorneys and from one of the biggest patent law firms in the world. And he has agreed to be interviewed to this vlog to tell us everything he knows that he can share. I'm actually thinking about changing the name of this vlog to The Poor Entrepreneur because I think that this vlog is for people who are really tight on resources. So what do you think? Idea to Product or The Poor Entrepreneur? What should I name the vlog? Comment below. Oh, and one last thing. This is not legal consultation. This is information for you to look and validate that it's still relevant and valid in your country, and enjoy the vlog. The first question that I asked Gershon was, how would you protect your idea if you had little or no money? Here's his answer.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's a real challenge for startup companies that exist because oftentimes at the earliest stages, there's not enough money to invest in the protection needed to excite investors. And on the other hand, you've got great ideas at that stage that really need to be protected. Now, one of the really nice things about the United States is that you can file a provisional patent application that will allow you to hold your idea for up to a year and then file a non-provisional application after that. And so that would be my recommendation for a startup company that doesn't have money. But here's the thing about provisional applications. You can have good provisionals and you can have bad provisionals. What distinguishes them? The more detail you put in your provisional application, the better it's going to be, because that is the material that you use later on to generate the actual application. So I had a situation once with a client that said, okay, I'm going to file my own provisional application, and it was a computer-related invention, and they forgot to use the word microprocessor in their provisional application. Everybody knows that a computer has a microprocessor, but I needed that word microprocessor later when I was developing the claims for their application, and it wasn't there. So we, at least as to claims that had the word microprocessor in it, there was an argument that they didn't have priority that took them all the way back to their provisional filing date. You have up to a year, so it just depends on how baked your provisional idea is. Like a lot of times, a startup company will have their core ideas, but there's more R&D to be done very early on before you're ready to go ahead and file the full application. So during that year period, as you develop new concepts or new refinements, you can file another provisional application and another one and another one and another one. You can file as many as you want. In fact, they only cost you about $150. It's not that expensive, and you can do your stuff online. There's no form requirement or anything like that. So you would file repeated provisional applications, but the key is that within the 1 year of the anniversary of the original filing, you file a non-provisional application, and you sweep them all together by referring to them all in the non-provisional application. And when you do that, you have priority, to each of them. Sure. Absolutely. In fact, what I have a lot of my clients do is to take the first provisional that they have and just add some more stuff on the end. It's the exact same document, refile it again, right? 4 months later, refile it again. Keep adding more to it. And then by the 1 year anniversary, go back and claim priority to everything that you filed beforehand. It's too late. And that is, if your invention has been known for more than 1 year, before you file. In the United States, you're absolutely barred from getting a patent on it. You can file, but if you do, it's actually fraudulent. And if it's discovered, there can be sanctions for it if you want to enforce such a patent. So you wouldn't want to do that. You have to be very vigilant about this. Best practice is to file a patent application or a provisional application before you disclose anything to anyone, okay? Even under NDA, get something on file. But if you don't do that, within 1 year of the time that you make a public disclosure, you can file a provisional or a non-provisional application. And as long as nobody else published, as long as no one else published it before, you should be fine, right? Or no one else went and tried to patent that invention, right? What it does is it only protects you against your own disclosure. So the best practice is to file something before you go public with your idea. That's practice. If you're thinking internationally, if you're only thinking about the U.S., you rely on the grace period, but otherwise, be careful. It depends on your business, right? You happen to be in a business where design is very important, right? Right? Consumers will look at your product and see what it looks like, and then they'll see something else on the web, and if it looks the same, they may buy it, right? Because it looks the same, right? Now, your product has a lot of functionality, and it's a very interesting product, but they don't understand, the consumer doesn't understand all the details of how it works when they're looking at it on the web. So they see something that looks similar, and they say, oh, that must be the Daphne product, right? That's why for your business, it makes a lot of sense to design, patent, protect your technology, because the consumer's reaction is very important. Now, in a lot of other technologies, in the high-tech fields that I work in, the consumer doesn't actually care what the product looks like. They care about its functionality. So if you don't protect the functionality, someone will come along and make something that looks different, but that functions the same. In your case, because your product has both an aesthetic appeal and also a functional appeal, you need to get two types of patents. You want to get a design patent or design patent protection and utility patent protection. About design patents is that the patent is usually filed on the commercial product just before it launches, right? Because your product, the aesthetics of your product are going to change as you develop it, right? As an early startup, your product is not going to look, when it goes into the market, as it looks today. So you don't need to worry that much about your design patent in most cases. But right before you launch the product, you should get the design patent on what the product is going to look like, because that's what they're going to copy. In front, there's this perhaps incorrect notion that if you have a patent, you're sort of on top of the world, right? I got my patent, great. The fact is that it's like saying, if we use a bad analogy, I guess, to war and the old style war where you had minefields. It's like saying, if I have a minefield and I have one mine in it, I'm good, right? But you know that what's going to happen is the enemy is going to find the mine, or at least avoid the mine, and get around. So good patent protection requires planting mines in strategic places and really thinking about where you want to put them, right? So many people will get their mines and put them off to the sides of the minefield, and the enemy can come right through the center and get right to you. And that's where most companies go wrong with their patents. They say, oh, I have a patent, I have two, I have three. They're not placed in the right places. And that strategic view of where you put them and how you design them becomes so critical to whether you're going to have good blocking protection or not.
Guys, keep listening, because a lot of important stuff is coming next.
If a company just has one or two patents, the reaction that we typically might have is, okay, let's go back to the patent office and try to challenge the patent and kill it. Or if someone sues us for infringement, let's develop a non-infringement position and an invalidity position and try to kill the patent. But when you're facing multiple patents, 10, 15 patents, and you have to make a decision, am I going to move forward or am I going to take a license under this patent? When there are more patents involved, the likelihood that you're going to kill all the patents drops significantly. So if you have the budget, that's really the smart way to do it. time to be strategic is before you actually file your regular applications. You have to think about how you're going to define the invention. It's like playing chess on 5 levels. You have to define the invention in a way that's going to get you through the patent office so that you're going to get a patent, but also in a way that's going to block your competitors, because I'm hired all the time to help companies figure out how to get around patents, right? So you're going to get a bunch of lawyers in a room looking at it and going, okay, how can we figure out a way to design around this patent? That's what happens whenever there's a great technology on the market that others want to use. And unless you think strategically beforehand and figure out how you're going to place those blocks, the competitor will just walk up to your patent and go, very nice, and they'll step around it. A continuation means that at any time during the life of your patent application, you can file another patent application that's an exact copy, except that you're going to change the way you define the invention. You change the claim. What the grace period does is it prevents your own publication from being used against you. It doesn't prevent others from being used against you, right? So if you go and you go to a conference and you talk about your invention, that would be an event that would otherwise keep you from being able to get a patent, right? But if it's your own presentation of your invention, then you get 1 year from the time you make that presentation to go and file either a provisional or a non-provisional application. But here's the things about provisional. Can you see what this says here? Can you read it? I wrote on it says, there it is, patent. You see it says patent? You know what this is, ladies and gentlemen? This is a provisional patent application. Anything, seriously, anything you want to file in the patent office, they will take as a provisional patent application. It doesn't have to have a form to it or anything. So, but now what's the value of this? This is valueless, right? And it's the same thing with your provisionals. If you just do something light, you can tell everybody you have a provisional, but it's not going to do anything for you. So if you want that provisional to be good, pack it with details, put figures in, describe it every way you can. Don't leave anything out. And we're making the assumption, because you're a startup company and you don't have a lot of money, that you can't afford to go get a patent attorney to do it with you. So you have to write just an amazing technical disclosure and do the best you can. This is MASH. This is a triage situation. This is better than nothing. I'm not recommending you do this on your own, but if you don't have money, at least do this. Sure. Yeah, but a reputable firm that's going to really be able to help you in a significant way is probably not going to take that engagement, because it's a very small engagement, right? But there are certainly talented people around that you could ask to take a look at it and have them make comments on it. And yes, that's better than nothing. Gerson Panich, I'm a partner with Finnegan. We're one of the largest intellectual property firms in the world. And I know I'm speaking with a lot of young entrepreneurs, early entrepreneurs, and I would love to work with you, but you have to be a funded company first. It's very difficult to be able to really do the strategic kind of work that I do unless you're funded. So after you get your funding, please call me.
Guys, if there is one thing I want you to leave this vlog is the word provisional. File your provisional and then have that, and do it now. Do it as soon as you can, and then perfect it as you can, and you have 1 year to file the actual patents. You have 1 year to go get funded so you can work with a good patent lawyer to help you make the most out of your patent. And I want to thank Gershon Panich again for being a part of this vlog. And thank you all for listening. Please comment below, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to launch an innovative, patented, new product soon, hopefully. Bye.